Hey there! Welcome to another video. My name is Holly Tack. I'm a coach for women who want to do work that they love. And today I'm going to be reviewing the 2018 Desire Map Planner from Danielle LaPorte. This planner comes in a daily, this one, and an annual. And I'm going to be talking about both copies in today's video. What are the key features, which one you might want to pick between the two, and which one I'm going to use, how I'm going to use it. So I hope this helps you make a decision, because every planner girl knows that deciding your next year's planner and what you're going to use is a huge deal. So hopefully I can shed some light on this for you. So first I want to talk a little bit, just a brief moment, about the basis of the planners, what they're based on, and just so you know, but you do not need to be aware of this book in order to use the planners. But the planners are based on the Desire Map. Sorry, my copy's a little worn, but they are based on the Desire Map book by Danielle LaPorte, which is, if I had to break it down into a few sentences, it's all about basing your goals and what you do in your day on how you want to feel. So instead of saying, I want to feel, I have to go to Europe this year, that's a goal I have, and I'm going to feel like a huge failure if it doesn't happen, you say something like, I really want to feel adventurous this year. And then that opens possibility for you, because maybe feeling adventurous just means taking a weekend getaway trip with your boyfriend every weekend, once a month or something like that, and you're able to do it because for whatever reason, it's more doable for you than going to Europe, and yet you still accomplish what you wanted to accomplish, which is feeling adventurous and getting to explore new places. So that's just one example, but the Desire Map book is all about the basis of that way of thinking, and also gives you a workbook at the end to figure out what your core desired feelings are. So that's the CDF, core desired feelings. So if I use that term, I will use that term in this video, and so that's what it is. Those are basically the three feelings that you want to feel, and typically if you follow this approach, or definitely if you're going to use these planners, it's set up so that you have an awareness of what your core desired feelings are for the year, and you're continually checking back on it. So I just wanted to provide that background. This is the Desire Map book, and I highly recommend checking it out if you have not yet done so. All right, so on to the planners. Just a few little details, just a few features that I want to share. Both planners these are the special edition planners. They have this watercolor type cover, changes every year. So these versions are available, and then there's also a plain black version with gold lettering, so it's just a personal preference. I like the fact that there's not a lot of options. I picked the color because I love color, but there's definitely a basic option, a basic looking option for somebody that just wants that, prefers that, or wants something that's maybe more professional for an office environment. But they both have a quote on the front, which is, "What will I do to feel the way I want to feel?" And that's same thing on the black basic looking version. So yeah, they both have that. They both have the same gold coil. It's pretty sturdy. It's definitely sturdier than like a garden variety notebook, but it's not as thick as an Erin Condren or similar planners of that nature. So time will tell. I wouldn't feel super comfortable like really jamming this in bags, because it is on the thinner side, although it does seem like it would hold up. I wouldn't like go out of my way to jam it in bags and that sort of a thing, because we all know that if this gets bent, it kind of ruins the ability of the planner to open properly, and it's a little bit of a hassle. So just be aware of that. But overall, if it's going to be like, if you handle it with care, or you're going to have it on your desk, that kind of a thing, it should not be an issue. That's my guess. And then the cover is pretty, so they all have a band to keep it closed with grommets on the back, so that should last all year. And the cover is like pretty thick. It's thicker than like a laminated sheet like the Erin Condren, but it's like cardboard. It has like a nice matte finish, so both of them are like set up that way. So that's the similarities in terms of like features. Size, as you can see, the weekly, understandably, is a lot thinner. I didn't write down the thickness, but you can find it online. I did write down the dimensions. So the daily, which is the bigger one, is 9.5 by 7.5 inches. And then the weekly is 8.5 by 6.75. So it's basically 1 inch smaller on each side, except one side it's only 0.75 smaller. So yeah, as you can see, they are a different size. So if you are concerned about the size, then and you want a smaller one, you're probably going to want to get the weekly regardless of what I'm about to say about the interior, which is totally fine because some people are more conscious with that. I know that I at one point wanted this to be a secondary planner. I never ended up getting it that year. But I mean, this is like so portable. Like it's, it's like an inch thick maybe. So yeah, exterior wise, I'm very happy with the appearance. I do think it would last all year. Based on what I can tell, time will tell, obviously, but that is how it is. And they both have a Danielle LaPorte logo stamped in the back. I don't know if you can see it because it's not filled in with anything, but otherwise the branding is pretty subtle other than the quote, but again, just the quote itself doesn't really say what it is. But yeah, that's it on the exterior. I will say I didn't love the fact that on both of them, it's a little bit bent where the elastic is. Like the cover came a little bent. So, I don't know if that's going to happen on all the copies, but that was something. But I mean, if it already happened, it was probably bound to happen during the year. So, but when you first get something new, you're like, I want it to be looking perfect. So it didn't look perfect, but it was in pretty good shape. And then, yeah, the cover has, both covers have a place for you to put your contact info. And they have the quote again. And then they're all set up like this with the tab, like blank space here, so that you can tab easily between the months. And then both of them have these dotted tabs on the corner that you can use. I think the idea is to rip it off, and then that way you can easily get to the active page, which I'm not sure if I'll do that or not, because I personally prefer to just put a bookmark or a little clip where I'm at in the planner, but it is something that, you can kind of do. And it is kind of cool because each of them have a word on it: optimistic, enduring. So you kind of get a little word there. So I might do it. I might not. I'm not sure if I'll use that feature, but that is in existence in these planners. Okay. So now I want to talk about the kind of the differences between the two to help you decide like which one you want to get and which one suits your needs. Some of you may already know which one suits your needs, and I honor you, and I definitely know myself which one I'm going to use. I'll reveal that at the end, but I will just go over really quick, what is in these. So both of these have just a small description about the desire map, which, to be honest, is probably enough for you to get the idea if you're going to use this planner and you've never been familiarized with the concept before. And then, a letter from a letter from Danielle. Hope she doesn't see this. Just kidding. And so then there's a page to actually set your core desired feelings for the year. So, and just like, it's really, I appreciate the simplicity. So it's really just 2 pages to really set your core desired feelings for the year. And then, what your major goals are for the year and how you plan to do them. So I really appreciate the simplicity of it. It's not like this huge process, which, a lot of people do a huge process, but I've never been one to follow through on that. So I appreciate the simplicity. And both of them have that exact same annual spread. I just checked. So that's that. And then they both have they have a 2018 overview, quick calendar, and a 2019 too, just to see like dates and what day of the week stuff falls on. And then they each have a monthly calendar, typical month on 2 pages calendar. There is American, Canadian, and Australian holidays in these books. So again, both have that. It's just, bigger on the daily one because the pages are bigger. And then they deviate. So this is where they deviate. So on the weekly agenda, sorry guys, I'm trying to learn how to do this and mirror myself. So on the weekly, there is basically just a small thing up here where you can talk about your core desired feelings for the week and the 3 things that you want to get done this week. Then each day has a small section for a list, a to-do list, and also just an empty area here, a to-do list here. So I also appreciate that the to-do list area is not huge because, we definitely can overdo our to-do lists this day and age. And so I appreciate that there's just not enough room. So I think you really need to be selective about what you put on the to-do list. And that's what I like about this. And that's pretty much it. There's three days on this side. Then there's 2 days on this side, weekdays, and then the weekend is side by side, and it's just a blank space. So, I sometimes don't like that, but I know that that's just what planner makers do because it's efficient for space. So that's literally the weekly spread. That's what you would have to write and plan what you want to do for the week, is these 2 pages. Then there's another spread for the week, which, again, 2 pages. But this is more of, to me, a weekly reflection spread where you can write about, there's a journaling prompt. So, for example, this one is soul prompt. Blank is sacred to me. Oops. Blank is sacred to me, and you just write about that. There's another one. How did you feel when you woke up today? Stop doing what you want to stop doing, what you want to change, and your gratitude. That's on this page, and then this other page is basically just a notes page. So each week has essentially 4 pages. There's 2 pages that are like your to-do and a notes, little, blank square. And then there's the 2 pages that are basically a journaling prompts and a note page. So that is the extent of the weekly planner. Yep, so each week you get 4 pages for each week. All right, so now I'm going to talk about the daily planner. Woo! So what is really different about this compared to the other one? And so, just like the other one, there is an annual planning spread. What is your goals for the year kind of a thing. There is a calendar, a typical calendar of each month and all of that. So then it really starts to vary once you get to the actual days. So there's actually, in this one, there's actually a monthly spread. So you have a spread for each month this is very similar to the annual spread, but each month you have a chance to write down your core desired feelings, your major intentions, your goals, and on the other side, there's a notes page. So this is really similar to the annual spread in both, the annual planning spread, but it's by month in this too. And then it continues to vary where you get to the actual days. So in the daily one, it's a day on one page. There's a spot for core desired feelings, soul prompt. You can also put your hourly schedule, what I appreciate about this schedule is that the time is not there. So you can start and end it at any time. I like that over, for example, the Day Designer, which is what I used this past year, which I did like, but it has the times written in, and sometimes I wanted to start my day earlier or go later than what it said. So there's a place for you to put your actual schedule, then 3 things that you want to do, your top 3, to do, what you want to stop doing, what you want to change, and gratitude. So some of the elements in that weekly review type spread are baked into each day in the daily. So so each day is like that. And then when we get to the weekends, let's see how they handled the weekends. I believe, yes, so the weekends is, again, a shortened version where they're both side by side on one page. You have a to-do list and a reflection area. So it's very simple and just not, simplified. And then that's it. So basically, in short, each day gets its own page, and you get to the elements of the weekly are baked into each daily. And then it also has that added element of a monthly intention setting page that the weekly version does not have. So there are definitely some variances with this. But again, like a lot of the features are similar with, the way it's set up, the design, the little corners you can tear off to help you keep track of your page and all of that. So, annual, yay! So basically, those are the differences. This planner is perfect for the conscious woman, the woman who wants to be connected to how she's feeling during the day and who wants to really rethink how she designs goals and do it in a way that's really setting her up to win, because I think that the whole desire map philosophy is really that way. Like, it's set up for you to win because it's not about, chasing some arbitrary thing. It's about, really connecting to how you want to feel on a daily basis, and creating an opportunity with the planner and how it's set up to figure out how you can actually create that feeling every day, which is a win. So you don't have to be making $1 million in one day to feel abundant. You can find a way to feel abundant right now. Maybe using the planner will help unlock that by, tipping a little extra when you go out to dinner that day. So the planner is super great for a conscious woman or a woman that wants to really implement the desire map philosophy, or just have a way that feels good about planning, not a way that feels like this is a chore, this is super masculine, this is too much, burnout, all of that. This is totally designed to combat that in the way it's set up. So I highly recommend that you check it out. So here's my advice in terms of picking between the two. I'm going to personally be using the daily because I'm used to a daily, and I like the daily. I like having my schedule because what I like to do is I have a small ritual in the evening, not even the evening, but ideally when I end my work for the day, where I go over my day for tomorrow. And I highly recommend doing that. I think it's way better than waiting until the morning. And basically, I just write down my schedule so I'm aware of all my appointments, because I used to have an issue with missing appointments. That was not cool. So I just write it down so I have fresh awareness of what I'm committed to tomorrow. And I can set my top 3 and all of that. And what that allows me to do is wake up and start working. So you could definitely do that with the weekly version as well. If you just, use the planning area to set up your intention the day before. But I just like the way the annuals, or I keep saying that, the daily is set up. I like the day on one page. I like that format personally. But if you're somebody that's concerned with size, that just doesn't want to overplan, that wants extremely simple, just a small to-do list each day and a little space to write, then you're definitely going to want to go with the weekly. It's small, it's super compact, and I think you're going to love it. You're going to love it, and you're going to still have the opportunity to stay connected to your core desired feelings on a weekly basis, whereas in the daily, it's on a daily basis. Who would have thought? So that's my recommendation, really. It's personal preference on how much you want to connect with your intentions and your goals from a feelings perspective. Again, they both accomplish that, but the daily gives you more ways to do that on a daily basis, and the weekly gives you more ways to do that on a weekly basis. And the daily one has the monthly spreads, which the weekly one doesn't. So a lot of factors to consider, but chances are, if you know yourself, you will probably be able to pick one pretty easily. You kind of know what you're leaning towards already, I'm guessing. If you don't, feel free to comment below to let me know if you have any questions on deciding, and also comment below to let me know which one you want to buy. If you know which one you would buy, even, regardless of if you actually purchase or not, if you have a feeling on which one you'd buy, just let me know, because I want to know what people are interested in. So again, I'm going to be keeping the daily one for my 2018 planner, and I'm actually going to be giving away the weekly one, and that'll be coming in October. So if you're interested in getting more details about that contest when it's released, use the link below, which has the link below. I'll label it to sign up for my email list. And also follow me on Instagram, and through both of those mediums, you should be able to see when the contest is launched. What else? The last thing I wanted to say is that I also have links below to purchase any of these directly from the Danielle LaPorte site. If you are a fan of her work at all, or you just want to support the creator, that's the best way to do so, to buy it directly from her. But it is also available on other retailers, Barnes & Noble website, Amazon website. There's lots of places to buy it. So again, if you want to buy from Danielle LaPorte, I have links below this video for you to buy from her directly. And I hope that this helped